Hey everyone, it's Andrew Graves with Strength and Wisdom Fitness, and today I want to go over some popular abdominal exercises. I want to look at two of them, the crunch and the plank, and talk about the differences, pros and cons, and how to make the plank specifically much more challenging. So let's go over that. Okay, let's talk about the crunch or sit-up. Okay, so a side view is better here. I'll turn it aside a little bit. So a crunch is done lots of ways. Feet straight, feet bent, feet flat. The lower body doesn't make as big a difference, but the way you crunch matters quite a bit. So arms in is more contained body weight, more leverage, so it's easier to do something like this than to do something like this as you crunch, or this where you're taking weight away from your center of mass. Okay, so I'm going to start with the easiest version, and people do crunches lots of different ways. The most common though is to really curl the spine and to come up in a tight circle. So what I mean by that is like that, right? And some people, come to here, some people come to here, etc. The part of the issue here is that it's often hard to distinguish the abdominals here from the hip flexors. And a lot of times people with strong hip flexors can do the crunch without much engagement here, right? Because they're pulling with their heels on the floor actually, and then the hip flexor pulls them up. So they're working this more than they are this part. So another aspect is I'm in tension here, okay? Because my support, my base of support, the floor, or in this case the porch, is not directly under my body. Here, I'm not really in tension because I'm just resting on my tailbone, okay? So here's where tension starts. So I think a good idea here is that coming all the way here, this part is not really working your abdominals. So it's kind of unnecessary motion at this point. So a crunch or a sit-up that goes from here to the top of the tension arc, right? So I'm at this angle and back down. There's more work being done there than if I add this bit. Because again, I'm just sitting now. I'm not really in tension at the abdominals. So that's a way to improve that, shave off a little bit of time on those workouts. The other way to do this, and I personally prefer this, is to take my chin to the ceiling, or the sky in this case, rather than take my chin through my knees. Okay, so instead of this, I'm doing that. I like this more also because it extends the spine. It's a healthier position in general, just like when you're sitting in a computer. This is less, anatomically healthy than shoulders back, this position. So I like to do my sit-ups like I'm just trying to sit up with good posture, like that. And the cue for that, a good cue for that is chin to the ceiling or chest to the ceiling, either way. And again, to make this more difficult, you can reach out, you can reach way out, you can reach behind your head. And then if you're really ambitious, you can try to keep perfect form with arms fully extended. So that's how to improve the crunch and avoid some possible injury or sort of not making the most out of that. So next I'll go over the plank.